those who don't know me, I'm just going to briefly introduce myself. Welcome to the Aroi Kitchen. Good evening. I'm Sukhumbi Grewal, and we conceptualized Aroi just before the lockdown. Our aim was to supply organic, gluten-free, vegan sauces and spice mixes to people like ourselves. Unfortunately, things got stalled, and we should begin this whenever the supplies resume again. I'm a graduate in business administration from Stanford, and I grew up mostly in Thailand. Fell in love with Thai food at the age of 4, and I've never looked back. I haven't graduated from a cooking school per se, but I have taken a number of courses, and I think cooking happens from the heart. And it's my passion that has brought me here today. Thanks to all my family and friends, most of you are here, who have kind of nudged me to be here today. Thank you once again. I will be showing a lot of ingredients towards the end of the session. There's no brand that I'm going to be endorsing. Delhi is we are very lucky in Delhi. We have a number of e-commerce sites. We have the modern bazaars and likes of modern bazaar, and we get the deliveries at home. So even in this COVID situation, my sole purpose is that you enjoy quick, easy, nutritious meals at home with your family and friends. And don't get intimidated by cooking if you have never done it before. Cook from your heart, and I promise you will have a plate of goodness. So we first begin with the papaya salad. In Thai, we call this som tam. By the way, I missed a point. So aroi in Thai means delicious. So that's how we thought of the branding. It's not going to just be Asian cooking, but there's a lot of fusion cooking as well that I have kind of exported myself on, along with gluten-free cooking. So you can put your comments in the chat. Thai cooking is really quick, so I might not be able to see it as I cook along, but I will definitely answer these questions before we end the session today. Thank you. So for papaya salad, you have the ingredient list and the method of cooking, the cooking instructions with you. Are you able to see the board?
Yes, Sukhama, I think everyone should switch off their videos.
Could everybody switch off their videos so we can have a little more clarity on
themselves?
We're trying to show here. Can you all see?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. So the ingredient, as per the ingredient list, we have shredded papaya. Now the trick to this is you don't need to restrict yourself to a papaya. You can also shred a carrot and have a carrot salad. Okay? So just use your imagination, be as creative as you can. Use leftover food. Just toss it up with something different the next morning, and you'll come up with something beautiful. I have beans which have been cut into 2 centimeter sizes. I have roasted peanuts. These peanuts have been roasted without any oil on the stove. So you just see that the little browning, the moment they start turning aromatic on the stove, just remove them. Yeah? We have our garlic, cloves of garlic, and 2 kinds of pepper. One is a small bird's eye pepper, which I will show you how different it is from the mild red pepper. The shredded papaya that I just shredded before the starting of the class. And what I have done, and this normally helps in Thai cooking, is when you blend all your sauces together. So it equally covers up everything that you're trying to create. So I blend them together in a bowl. I mix them. I let the sugar dissolve with the lime juice and the soy sauce. I'm creating a vegetarian version here. I've avoided the shrimps. If the non-vegetarians would like to have a shrimp version, you can order a packet of dry shrimps online. They are available. Soak the shrimps for about 5 minutes until they soften, and just follow the recipe to get your shrimp som tam or shrimp papaya salad. I have some extra lemon or lime juice on the side. This is all a balance of flavor. So we have spicy, we have tangy, we have sugar, and we have salt. So I'm just going to show you the process of me blending these in a mortar and pestle. I luckily have a few of these at home. If you don't have these, no worries. What you can do is you can shove these ingredients in a Ziploc bag, very easy. Put them in a Ziploc bag, have a rolling pin handy, put them in and just beat them up. Sorry, it's noisy, but you just beat it up. So the trick is to pound the ingredients together. Yeah, that is the trick how we create the salad. So every time we begin Thai cooking, we mostly blend the garlic and the chilies together, which I will be doing right now. The spoon comes in handy because it helps you mix the ingredients together. So just to safeguard some noise. We are looking at a rough paste here, at a rough chop. Nothing that we do in a mortar and pestle needs to be finely chopped, yeah? Once this is done, I'm just going to add the roasted peanuts and the beans. And again, a rough chop. This is how it looks with the peanuts blended in. Yeah, it's a very rough chop. I'm going to add in the sauces. And like I said, cooking should never be fussy. If you do not have a cherry tomato at home, which I didn't have, so I'm using normal tomatoes, I've chopped them into square pieces. If you have cherry tomatoes, by all means, half them and use them.
Sukam, did you just add some papaya to it?
Yeah, I did. So the next ingredient was the papaya. So if you follow the method on the recipe, on the cooking instructions, you have a stepwise thing of how to put it together. Yeah. The key is to bruise the salad together. Now raw papaya is very firm. It is not soft. So, and you're not going to hammer it till it dies. So it needs to look good at the end of it. And like I said, for those who might have missed it, you could use carrots as well. So you could mix the two. You could make a carrot salad. You could make a papaya salad. It all depends on you. So I have some juliennes of carrot as well, just to show you that you don't need to restrict yourself to just a papaya. So I make these at home all the time. And lastly, we put in the tomatoes. A bit of taste. Most important, so it might be slightly spicy for a few people, but if that happens, so you can add a little bit more of sugar, blend the taste. I like my papaya salad a little sweeter, so I try and put a little less of the bird-eye chilies. Now, just to give you a difference between the two, I bought these 2 months ago. I dried them and put them in Ziploc bags, seal them and put them in my refrigerator, and they're still surviving. So the trick is in the lockdown, to kind of get ingredients and preserve them well. These are your mild red chilies. These are pretty mild. They are similar to your green chili. So this we add for color. And there's another chili in between the bird's eye and the red chili, which you could use for the spice and the color as well. In case you don't find anything and you need a red color, pop in a piece of red capsicum. So yeah, don't restrict yourself. Just find whatever you have in the kitchen and use it. I will do the presentation of the dishes later, but this is how your papaya salad looks. Yeah, I'm just going to put it in a bowl. If you want to substitute brown sugar and cane sugar for white sugar, please go ahead and use it. So the cane sugar at home finished and Amazon didn't deliver it to me, so I've used white sugar. But you could use any sugar that you have at home. You will have a little residual syrup at the bottom of this. Don't discard it. It's really delicious. So please put it back into your salad bowl. You can enjoy this with cabbage, shredded cabbage. Just pop in, just slide in, take a piece of the bean, have it with the salad, the cucumber. These things kind of really help to cool the palate because some people like the som tam or the raw papaya salad really spicy. So it hardly took me, 10 minutes to shred the papaya and about, in front of you, 10 minutes to put it together. So very easy, quick, and nutritious. So while we talk here, do put in your questions about, I'm just going to check the chat about anything in particular that you are looking at. Okay. Can we use raw mangoes too? Absolutely, we can use raw mangoes too. A good question, Dipti. So be creative in your cooking. Nobody stops you to just make a papaya salad. You could use raw mangoes, you could use shred beans and carrot. They also, taste really awesome. So just, use whatever you think is like. And like I said, cook from the heart, experiment. Cooking is all about experimenting. Were you all able to see the rough mash that I did with the garlic and the chilies and then how I pounded them together? Were you able to see it? Any reactions from you? Do you want to? I'm trying to record this. I'm going to send it to you later. Please show us the dressing mix. Lovely. Okay, so the dressing was mixed. So I made this totally vegetarian for all my vegetarian friends. So this has a light soy sauce. The light soy sauce has 2 or 3 versions. There are different brands. I thought I will explain you about these later, but I'll do it along sidewise as well. So this is a Thai brand. You get these online. This is a Likum Ki. These are all vegetarian light soy sauces. I've used this particular one, but they all taste alike. So I have about 3 brands at home, and I substitute each for each other. They taste just the same. For my friends who would like to use shrimp in this, which tastes equally yummy, you can buy your dry shrimps online, immerse them in water for about 5 minutes, soften them up, and just before you put your tomatoes, you put in the shrimp, pound it together, and then you add the tomatoes. For them, you could use the fish sauce, which has a distinct taste, but if you don't like the taste of the fish sauce, go ahead and use your light soy sauce, which is totally vegetarian. Some people are also allergic to fish sauce, so you could use substitute soy sauce for it. In case you're allergic to both of them, you could go ahead and use salt. Tomatoes, how do we cut the tomatoes? Okay, that's a good question. The tomatoes were cut square. Do you want me to elaborate on? I'll have to get a tomato to do that, but I'll do that. So can we also use, yes, you can use Likum Ki, absolutely. And Kikomon is also a good brand of soy sauce. Bela ji, you could use that. Cherry tomatoes, yes, you can. I didn't have them, so I've used normal tomatoes. Show the dressing mix, show how the papaya. Okay, so the papaya. Now, you can shred this with a number of peelers. So peel your raw papaya with a normal peeler. I have this at home. But you also have those long peelers that you find in everybody's home. So just peel off the skin of the raw papaya. And using any of these shredders, okay? There are so many things available in the market that help you shred your raw carrots and your papayas. You could use any of these to shred them. So in fact, there are those big boards as well on which you can shred. You could use those as well. So any of those you could use. Yes, please choose a dressing mix. Okay, so what I did was in the dressing mix, I took a bowl, it's really easy. So because we need to prepare for Thai food before we assemble it together, assembly is just about happens in over a few minutes. I put the soy sauce, yeah, it's in your ingredient list. I added the sugar to this, and I added the lime juice, and I took a little spoon and I just mixed them together. And I had my concoction ready. Sometimes what happens if you're putting the sauce and then you're adding the sugar and then you're pounding it in a mortar or pestle, or even in a Ziploc. If you don't have a mortar and pestle, put it in a Ziploc, put the ingredients in stepwise and just beat it roughly. You just need to pound in. When you pound in, the ingredients get inside the raw papaya, which otherwise it would not. So you can taste the flavors on the papaya. So I hope that is clear. Any other questions if I missed out? Cherry tomatoes, okay, cut the tomato seeds. No, you don't need to take the seeds out of the tomatoes. So just go ahead and use them. Photos so we can buy them. Okay. I will send you photographs of these brands as well, of the sauces. You can buy them. You can use zucchini too. Zucchini, in fact, when you peel it, you get the zucchini strips, like how you make your zucchini pasta. Use them, shred it. Please go ahead and use the same version or the same mix of the sauce with different kinds of things, and you'll have a beautiful dish. You can have a different salad every day, and I'm sure the kids will enjoy it. The husband will say, wow. And the mother-in-law and father-in-law will also be very happy with your skills. Can we use normal soy sauce? Yes, you can. You can. But Medha, when you add the normal soy sauce, just make sure while you're adding it, keep tasting. The trick is to taste your flavor. So Thai food is a balance of flavors, yeah? You have spicy, salty, tangy, sweet, and sour in most of the dishes. So that's very important, yeah? Keep testing it until the time you feel, yeah, this hits the spot, and that's when you're done, yeah? Okay, so I think we pretty much... So do we go to the next dish from here? If I get a thumbs up, we can go to the next dish. It's a soup called Tom Kha soup. Tom Kha soup is slightly different from the Tom Yum version. Tom Yum version is primarily made with chicken stock or fish stock. And Tom Kha is primarily made with coconut water or coconut cream or coconut milk, as you call it. So there are different names for this, the coconut milk or water or cream. Some are thick and some are thin. Again, if you like it creamy, put the ratio is 3:1, so 3 cups of coconut or cream of coconut to 1 cup of water. But if you feel you want it creamier, please go ahead and add more coconut. Okay. The trick to this soup is aromatics. I'll show you a few aromatics here, which we need for the soup. You can easily find them in Delhi, and I'll tell you again tricks to preserve this. So this is lemongrass. We all know these are stalks of lemongrass. Now, I've cut this small because the rear portion was very hard. The trick is take out the outer skin, yeah, which is harder. Go to the inner skin, and then you chop it or slice it, and then use it in your soup. So this is the way you need to chop it. I'll show you how I've chopped it. So these are slices of the aromats that we are using. So lemongrass is one of of them. The other aromat that we're using is galangal. Now, galangal belongs to the ginger family, and it is slightly pink in color, unlike ginger, which is brown. I'll just show you the difference. So the difference between these are root plants. This is slightly more aromatic and more young than the ginger, and this is more so a wet root plant than the ginger. Yeah. So try and get the galangal. You also get dry versions on the internet. I ordered this just in case I did not find the fresh version of the galangal. So these are available on Amazon. You can order, again, any brand. A galangal is a galangal. It'll be dried, and you can store this forever until and unless you don't see it turning green because you've touched it with wet hands and it's got a layer of moss on it. That's not the time to discard it. The best way to store these is to put it in a Ziploc and put it in your freezer. Yeah, you can store these for months. And like I said, my bird's eye, I stored it 3 months prior to the 2 months during the lockdown, and that's why I still have bird's eye chilies, because there's no supply of them right now. So I'm just going to clean up. Just give me a minute. Tongkha soup, like I said, this proportion will serve about 4 to 5 people, the proportion that we are trying to cook. Use a saucepan for it. I have mixed my coconut milk with water. I've just mixed it. I've just put it together. And I did not have chicken stock today, so I'm just going to use plain water. Another aromat that we will use today for the soup is the kaffir lime leaf. Now, the kaffir lime leaf belongs to the lemon family. The kaffir lime is a very, very tiny version of the lemon. It's green in color, and the rind is used for a lot of cooking purposes, desserts and savory stuff. So, so desserts and savory stuff. So kaffir lime, again, I had stored this in my refrigerator. If you had the fresh version of it, you could use it the way it is as an aromat, or you could just remove the stem from between. I like to use it whole because it looks really pretty. So I'm going to pop in the galangal, the lemongrass, and the kaffir lime into my soup. Can you see? Can you see? Is that visible? Okay. So it looked like a milky concoction to you, but trust me, this is a very soul-satisfying soup. Again, it's great for people who are on a vegan diet and do not want to venture into something which is non-vegetarian. So for these, tomatoes are an option, but people like putting them in their soup because they add the tangy flavor to it. So I have half a tomato here, which someone asked on the group how to cut this into a square. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to slice it. Yeah. And it's a firm tomato, so it's not bleeding. And then I just cut it into squares. So, yeah. So does that answer your question? I think it was somebody up. I've missed that name. Is that can you see the squares? Yeah. So that's the way we do the tomatoes. The mix, I will show you the spice mix again. I will show you. You need to boil this until it gets aromatic. So your kitchen needs to be full of flavor. Yeah, you'll smell comfort, you'll smell good food, you'll smell sweetness. So I prefer this over the tom yum soup because I think I'm partial to coconut. So this is why I love the tom kha version, which is better for me than the other versions of the soup. For my vegetarian friends, we definitely add mushrooms and any other kind of mushroom that you like It could be oyster mushrooms or stock mushrooms or any other mushroom that you'd want to add to the soup. Go ahead and do it. But we'll wait for this to simmer so that we know it's a time to add on the other bits and pieces. For my non-vegetarian friends, you could add your prawns, you could add chicken, or either or. So, yeah, or if you'd like both in a soup, go ahead and use both. You could use a stock, wet stock, or veg broth. You could use chicken stock. You could use fish stock for this soup. Or if you don't have any, just go ahead and use water. So, are there any questions for this as yet? No, I don't see any. Pictures I will send. Okay, so bird's eye chili in Greater Kailash, I find bird's eye chili in Papu's shop, Ashok's shop, which is E-Block shop. If you tell your, if there's somebody delivering these, or Modern Bazaar used to have them galore. So I used to get my stock from them as well. But these days, I say organic doesn't have them. And there's another website which I just discovered a few days ago called Fruit Talks or something, which again I'm not going to be endorsing any brands here, but I'm just telling you where I order from. So if it's not Modern Bazaar, then it's Amazon. If it's not Amazon, it could be your vegetable vendor next door. So if you tell your vegetable vendor to get it for you, they do. If they go to the mandis, they will get it for you. So I can literally smell the coconut and the kaffir lime and the lemongrass, which are really nice and pungent. I'm going to add the mushrooms before. And remember, Thai cooking is never about cooking a lot. It is about making sure that you cook enough that you can chew, but you don't want it all very soft and groggy. You want things to be a little khara, you know how you say it, a little crispy to the teeth. You need to feel the vegetable in your teeth, in your mouth. So I can go ahead and add all of this. Yeah. So the spice mix for this is I've added two teaspoons of white sugar. You could add brown sugar or palm sugar. I've added about 2 tablespoons of lime juice to it and 2.5 tablespoons of light soy sauce. Again, for my non-vegetarian friends and people who love fish sauce, please substitute light soy sauce for fish sauce, yeah, and vice versa. So I've just mixed this. I'm going to keep adding it and I will taste it as I go along. So I want this a little spicy. So I'm going to add pounded bird's eye chili just to give it a little bit of a spice hint. My husband doesn't eat spicy at all, so it's a tough tie between him and me. There are certain things he just doesn't eat, so I get to eat them all. And like I said, if you don't have soy sauce or fish sauce at home, please add salt. I like mine a little tangy. So I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of the sauce, the spice mix or the ingredient mix as you call it. I've kept the shrimp. So this is a version for vegetarians. You could go ahead and add baby corn, broccoli to this, and they taste really good. And you could also add Brussels sprouts if you get them. But if you don't, just put whatever vegetable. Make sure that it's not all groggy when you take it out. It needs to be a little firm. So I'm going to show you how it looks. So it's not mixed with or it's not mixed with the soup. It stands out. So the veggies have their own individuality in the soup here. The trick to cook prawns, these are de-shelled, de-veined. I like them with the tails, so I'm going to add the tails to this, is to just make sure that they turn pink. And that's when you know that they're done. Yeah. I have a lot of soup for tonight, so if someone who wants to volunteer to have now the non-veg version, can please come over or let me know and I can have it sent across. Of course, maintaining social distancing and sanitizing. Let me look at so you see the moment you add the prawns, you start look at the color of the tail. It started turning pink. That's when you know that the prawn is getting cooked. So don't ever overcook the prawn, yeah? Because it becomes really elastic. If you want fresh, soft prawns, make sure you cook them only till the time that they turn pink. Are there any questions? Okay, so there are some questions. If you don't find galangal, can it be substituted with ginger? Yes, you can, Shreya, but the thing is that ginger has a very pungent taste and galangal has a sweet and a little pungency taste together. So the flavor is softer for galangal with a ginger. You can try making it with that, but I would prefer if you can get galangal from somewhere and then use it. GK2 and surrounding areas, South Delhi, mostly all the vegetable vendors do have it. And like I said, if you don't get the fresh version, just order one from the internet and Amazon's delivering within 2 days. So, and if you want me to show you the dried version with the wet version, they look pretty similar because, like I said, you can store this in the fridge. So this is the fresh version and this is the dry version. So all it's done is it becomes drier, but the smell of this whiz-a-whiz ginger is very different. Yeah. So I would prefer if you get kaffir lime leaves, again, your local grocery store will have it. Amazon has it. So don't be, what's the proportion of coconut milk to water? So it's written in the cooking instructions, it's 3:1. Yeah. But if you like the soup to be a little more creamier, I like it a little less creamier. So I don't add as much coconut milk. I reduce the coconut milk a little bit and I add water to it. Another variant that people miss here is coriander. I have roughly chopped coriander. You don't need to be very specific with your cutting of the coriander here. You put in chopped coriander just as you're getting close to the making of the soup. And one trick that I do, because this is a very white soup, but a very comforting broth, you can avoid the coriander if you do not want it or are allergic to it. You're completely allowed to skip the coriander. Yeah. I'm going to add a little bit more of khatta. And the prawns, like you see, are almost getting done. and a little bit more of soy sauce. So more or less the proportions that I've given you are pretty accurate, but like I said, if the coconut cream or the coconut milk is too sweet, you might want to balance the flavors there. I could do with a little more chili, but my husband won't even touch the soup, so I'm not going to add it. I'm adding a little fish sauce for it to be a little more, to give it a little more oomph of the salt factor. So this is when you know your prawns are done. They curl up a little bit, and if you don't like the tail portion, please devein and deshell them completely. The soup is done. I am just going to add a little bit of oomph factor here. This is your normal tom yum paste that you find in the market. If you don't find this, you will have chili oil at home. So just to give it an oomph factor, this is my little version of twist. I put a little coriander at the bottom of the bowl and a little bit of the red chili oil. And all I'm going to do is, I'm going to pour the soup on this and let you see how it looks.
Sukham, can you hear us? You're on mute. We can't hear you.
Yeah. So I can see you. Are there any more people who've joined in? I'm going to connect from the phone now because we have a booster. We have everything. I don't know what's wrong. Anyways, we just said
Can everyone hear her? Can everyone hear her? I can hear her now.
Yeah, Sukham, this is Aditi.
Thumbs up if you can hear me, please. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay.
Sukham, I have been made the host. I don't know how. So I've added people.
Just admit people, it's okay.
Okay.
There's something terribly happening. You know how it is, but you know when you do it the first step, things always go wrong, but in a nice way. So I'm glad. Yeah. So
You are doing a great job. You're doing a great job. And we're all friends, so just enjoy it and we're loving it.
Yeah, I am. I certainly am.
I guess this lockdown time, everybody's logging on and
Exactly.
internet and all
Yeah.
this.
So by the way, a tip I forgot to give everybody, when you're cooking in the kitchen, ask people to leave, have a glass of wine next to you and turn on your music. It's the most unwinding thing and the most therapeutic thing you can do to yourself. That's how I normally cook. I can't have a glass of wine in the afternoon. So, but that's
Sukham, I can join you. I'm the closest to your house.
Sure, Auntie, anytime. I would love it. Okay.
I'm not far. Yeah, Medha, I think we all can go. We are coming for dinner tonight.
Next class we do with a glass of wine. So we do it at 6 in the evening and all of us
I
have a
know,
glass of wine.
but you know how the Italians are? After 1:30 in the afternoon, they all sit with their wine and they're hardly working, you know? So I think now the lockdown has really shook those people up. Poor guys.
When you do your pizza class,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
wine and
Yeah, we will. But everybody can hear me now. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we're 10 of us. We were, I think, 14, 15. I don't know how many we were. So I'm not keeping a track of that. So I'm going to make, I was thinking of making a vegetarian basil stir fry, but I'm going to be making both for my friends who are non-vegetarians as well. So this is how.
And Sukham, can you show us the soup once again? Can you show us the soup?
Yeah.
Everybody.
Okay. So this is what we pound together: the garlic and the bird eye chilies. If you don't have bird eye chilies, use a green chili and just use some red big chilies. I'm going to pound these together into a rough paste. I have tofu ready here in two kinds. This is minced tofu, which I just kind of crushed with my hands.
And this is little sauteed plain tofu. So I've cut it into squares and I've just sauteed it or in a pan with little oil. Yeah. Okay, so I've roughly chopped this. I'm going to Aditi, just help me with this. Hold this, and I'm just going to show the cooking. Okay, so I'm just going to. This is again a very fast thing that you would like to make at home. You need a wok, and you need 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm going to put a little lesser oil because I've already sauteed the tofu separately. From the raw chop, I'm going to take a bit of the garlic and the chili rough paste, and I'm going to just put it in the oil. It's going to start splashing, but it will also give you a good aroma. Let the flame be on high. This cooking is done on really high flame. I have mixed again my sugar, my vegetarian oyster sauce. A vegetarian oyster sauce looks like this. I will send you photographs as well. It says vegetarian. Can you show? Is it showing with you? Vegetarian oyster sauce. I'm not going to burn any of the garlic. The moment it turns aromatic, I'm going to add my tofu. And I'm going to add my beans. And the sauce. Make sure you dissolve the sugar before you put that in. Yeah. This is all cooking on high flame. So make sure you have all the ingredients ready. And this is homegrown basil. So I can't turn the exhaust on because you won't be able to hear me. Oh, it smells like, oh, it smells so nice. Aditi, you can come and take this. I'll be more than happy to share this with you. So the trick is shut the gas, the stove, and this is what you have. You can add in, baby corns, you can add in mushroom, or you can add in your broccoli. Yeah. So for the chicken lovers, for the chicken lover, in case you do not find, you could add a slice of the red pepper for color. Yeah. I will just answer your questions in about 5 minutes once I'm done with cooking the chicken part of it. Yeah. So there is the proportion of the chicken here, which is 400 grams of chicken. Again, I have mixed the sauces together. And I have these roughly chopped red peppers, which I'm going to be adding for color. So this is how your stir-fried tofu in basil looks like. Yeah. Once the pan is hot, again, this is really high flame cooking, so be careful while you're cooking. 2 tablespoons of oil. By the way, the tofu can also be minced like this and made like I'm making minced meat. So typically the basil dish is a minced version of the food. We're focusing on the food. So again, we're not going to brown this. Make sure that you're not burning or browning it, but it's just aromatic. And look at the... Okay, sorry. So you see the pink part of the chicken that's getting cooked. You do not want to burn the chicken or brown the chicken. Yeah? You cook it on high flame and do not cover it. When you cover it, the chicken leaves water. you need to dry the water. Yeah? Once it's partially cooked, you need to add the fish sauce. Of course, this is a non-vegetarian dish, so you're going to be adding the fish sauce and the oyster sauce and a little bit of soya and sugar. So the cooking instructions have the ingredients and the measurements on them. I'm going to add in a slight bit more of the oyster sauce. So see, when I do this, it's more cumbersome to get the sauces and then pour them in and then mix them together. So it does not usually mix very well, but the trick is that if you mix them together in a bowl and keep them handy, it happens very fast. The chicken keema, the minced chicken normally leaves a lot of water, but the trick is to just cook it until the water has evaporated and we have a little less water left, yeah? I'm just going to add in the roughly chopped red chillies for color. I'm letting the water dry. If you don't have a wok, use a broad dish pan at home because the chicken needs to cook evenly. So again, the trick is to keep tasting and suiting your palate. Yeah? The salt in the fish sauce and the oyster sauce cannot be too overpowering. They need to just be subtle with a hint of sugar and of course the spice that you've added to it. So like I said, the bean cut into 2 centimeter chops, into 2 centimeter pieces. They really go very well with this, but again, it's optional. I'm just letting the water dry. It's almost there, but not there as yet. So letting the water dry. Because you have this with rice, you need to know that it can't be totally dry. So it needs to be a little wet. Wet in terms of flavor, but not wet in terms of look. Yeah? So you see the chicken is not browned. We are stirring it constantly. It looks brown because of the sauce, but it's not burnt or it's not roasted or roasted as we say. Okay, so we are almost done. I'm just going to add the basil. So you see the residual water is just very little, which will dry as we put the basil in. Yeah? And this is all homegrown basil, so I really would ask you all to start growing herbs in your own homes. All you need is a little pot and little manure and some love and care. A lot of herbs are also growing hydroponically, which means that they're growing in water. And you don't need soil, manure, etc. They're free of pesticides. And the smell and the flavor of this basil is a different level altogether. So you would not get this in your grocery stores. Try, there are lots of, I mean, you can grow this any time of the year. I don't think, but Bela ji in the group is a avid gardener, and she has lovely plants and grows vegetables, and yeah, she's still logged in. And so we are done with the basil chicken. I did not add the beans to this, yeah? Just going to give me a minute to just plate this wing of rice, which I've inverted on the plate. These are just little beauty tricks you can add to your food. The big chilies are not spicy, so they're just for the color. The small bird's eye chilies are for the spice, but this is just for the color. So, and if it were me, I would just make a little bit of soy sauce with red cut chilies on the side, just in case somebody wants to spice up their dish. So you serve this as an accompaniment to the basil chicken with rice. Yeah, so that's a papaya salad. You could garnish it with roasted peanuts. We've made a tofu stir fry with basil and beans. And we've created the famous basil chicken with rice. And the tom kha soup. So here we are. You can write your questions, and I would serve the tom kha with a little bit, with a few lemon wedges on the side. This itself is a mega meal. Now we took about what? We started at about 4:05 or 4:10, and it's about 5:10. Along with the glitches and the hitches, we're all done. So something which is easy and quick and nutritious and delicious. I've tried to show you my version of the food that I love, and hope that you will take back with you something and enjoy cooking. Do cook and put your photographs on the group so that we can get motivated and cook more. Okay, let me start from, okay, thank you so much, Deepika. Deepika, thank you. You're a good cook yourself. It's very generous of you to be saying that to me. And I know, super delicious. Very nice, Sukha. Very clear demo. Thank you, Aditi. Thank you. I hope it was clear enough. I'm sorry for the glitches, but there's something not that I did. Mamta, thank you so much. Looks delicious. You can come over. Just wear your mask and I'll come down and give you the food. Ask your girls if they like it, and if they like it, that means it's really nice. So thank you. How should we get the fried egg and place it where? Okay, so typically you would place the fried egg on top of the rice. Yeah, some people like it on the side with the yellow portion not dried up. So in Thai they say khai dao mai soup. It means the yellow portion without it being dry. So you have crispy fried egg. That is the best way. Like you wouldn't have a burger without French fries. You would not have basil chicken with rice without a fried egg. So that's the combination. Bela ji, thank you. You really inspire me to grow my veggies. You know, this is my first season and I'm really struggling, and that too without a gardener. So should we add the beans as you had said? Yes, you can add the beans to this as well. Beans go very well with minced chicken, and yeah, it will just enhance the flavor. So there's nothing wrong with adding them. If you want to skip them out completely. But this is authentic Thai food. There are no onions in this. There are no added flavors or whatever else to this. So 1 cup basil. Yes, Sonia, 1 cup basil is the recipe. But if you think you want to add in more, please go ahead and add in more. The trick is not to let the basil wilt. Yeah, so it looks khara khara. It looks like fresh. Yeah, it's not wilted in the dish. So that's the trick. So Thai food is, you chop, you cook, and you serve. Have all your things, collect all your things together. Double check you have everything, and once you start cooking, there's no looking back. You'll surely surprise everybody. Are there any more questions that I missed? You can unmute yourself and ask me a question. That's fine. It's almost the end of the session. Looks fab.
On the vegetables, Sukam.
Thank you, Medha. Sorry, I lost you. Did you see?
I'm gonna bother you on this again later.
Yes, absolutely. So it's recording, and I'm going to share the recording on the video. So it might be in 2 or 3 different portions, but for those who could not log in and back again, very simple. All we did was slice some cucumbers and show you
393.
I'm not trying to be the mean one, but I'm just going to try to take a taste.
I can't log on.
I'm sure we can have a party tonight, so it tastes really nice. It's fresh, it's tangy, it's sweet, it's spicy. Broccoli and baby corn, yes, they don't need to be blanched. Everything goes in raw. The beauty of Thai cooking is that you let everything be crispy. You don't overcook anything. Nutrients are never lost when you cook Thai food because A, they're fresh. You buy them fresh and you cook them fresh. So buy organic, grow organic. I will insist that you grow a few herbs in your pot. Start with those, and you love to grow your own veggies.
Sukham, can you add coriander roots to the soup?
Yes, you can. But coriander roots normally go very well if you want to do a marinade. Because coriander roots are full of flavor and a lot of nutrients. And they go very well with garlic. So if you want to have a roast chicken, just marinate it with the root of the coriander and garlic with a little bit of fish sauce, soy sauce. Put it on your chicken or whatever your veggies you want and just roast it the next day. Just keep it on for about I think overnight is better.
Okay.
And roast it at 180 for about 20-25 minutes. You'll have a beautiful dish. You'll never go wrong with coriander.
But you don't add it to the soup.
Yeah, so in fact, the roast chicken that goes very well with the papaya salad has the same marinade. So, but that is a different class altogether because it takes you a long time to get the hang of doing it correctly. But that has the same marinade. So yes, please go ahead and use that for your marinades. Anybody else? Please unmute yourself and ask me questions. I think I've covered most of them. Thanks, Preeti. Thank you for coming in. Okay, the difference between tom yum and tom kha. Tom yum is a broth, a water-based soup, and a tom kha is a coconut milk-based soup. It is white. It is more frothy, more milky, more white, more creamy, whereas a tom yum is more watery. I have used for the color, the garnish. I love this garnish. So I've added the red chili from the tom yum paste, the oil from that in this. If you don't have it, don't worry. Use things from your pantry. Just go ahead and use chili oil, which means that if you use your Italian cooking, you could use those a few drops as well on top of the soup. I would ideally place them at the bottom of the soup with the coriander and pour the soup on top so it floats up and looks really pretty.
Any specific coconut milk?
Nothing. I ordered Kara from Amazon, but I also have but I also have this, which I froze in the freezer. So a lot of ingredients that you buy and you think you might not be able to use it. Of course, it's within the expiry date. If you freeze it, it doesn't lose its flavor. We do not know how things are handled in our country, unfortunately, how they are stored. So a lot of things lose flavor, but if you store them well, it takes you a long way. So I did show you the galangal. I did show you, yeah. So it's always handy to have your measuring cups and your spoons, because this is what I normally use when I try to give recipes. I try to make it very standard, because as a person who's grown up eating Thai food, I know the flavor of the food, and I'm able to add sauces and mix the sauces even on after I've given a recipe. But a lot of new cooks, it's very difficult for you. So it's more or less, the proportions are very correct. It's a balance of flavors. But if you do feel you need to add anything else, please go ahead and do it in the recipe. Yeah.
Another thing, should we add chicken and mushroom together, or just stick to mushroom or chicken?
Chicken, tom kha kai. Tom kha chicken is awesome. So going a step further, if you have chicken broth, it takes the soup to another level. Good. So similarly, I mean, I didn't have chicken broth at home. Of course, my new puppies eaten all the chicken last night, and so I didn't have it. So you can use this plain water, because the aromats, once you get into the soup, they add the kick to the soup and the oomph to the soup as well. So yeah, you can go ahead and use that as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Nice to have you.
It was great pleasure.
Anybody else? Dipti, Shreya, Medha, Sukham, you can unmute yourselves. Yeah, it's just us. Deepika.
Sukham, you're going to put the picture.
Medha, I couldn't hear you.
Please share the pictures of the ingredients, so we get the complete.
I will send the ingredients of all ingredients. You want to have it right now? Can you see these?
Can you just click pictures of it?
I will.
In the ingredients, the methods are not given, right?
The method for cooking is given. Na? The ingredients I sent before and the cooking instructions were given today. I sent them out today.
Okay.
Just follow them step by step. The trick is go through them, keep them in mind, keep your ingredients ready, line them up, and you quickly can assemble things together. But if you're pounding the papaya and you're going and finding a tomato, it's going to lose the the mixing and the flavoring. Yeah. So do click pictures of what you make and please post them. To kind of plate them is another session altogether, which we can't do in an hour. But I think if you guys are happy with what we've done today, I'll be very happy as well.
Yeah, Sukham, it was a wonderful class and wonderful. I think I'm disconnected.
You guys, I don't know why am I losing you all.
Sukham, one last question. In the raw papaya salad, there are 2 French beans cut into long pieces. Are they just raw?
They are raw.
They are raw. Okay.
Absolutely raw. I've not cooked anything.
Okay.
Everything that I had on my ingredients is raw. There's nothing
raw.
Only for the stir-fried tofu, because tofu takes a little while to cook. Make sure when you're making tofu, the tofu is firm. It's not the soft tofu. I have another version of tofu which I ordered, and it's in the fridge. I can't keep it outside. But this is very soft. Yeah. So the trick is you keep the tofu in the chiller. You take it out, cut it into squares, and you just saute it separately. And then you combine it later into the wok, and you put your other ingredients and your sauces together.
I didn't get you. Repeat.
I said if the trick is that with the tofu, because it takes a longer time to cook or to brown a little, you should saute the tofu separately, the tofu squares. I did not make the keema tofu. I also crumbled it just like minced chicken. So a typical basil chicken is made of minced chicken. So a lot of people who eat vegetarian food in Thailand, they like it to look like the original version of the basil recipe. So they crumble the chicken and make it look like keema, and they stir fry it. So in that case, you don't need to saute the tofu separately. Okay, you can just put the oil, put your garlic, your pounded garlic and chili, throw in your minced tofu, stir fry it, put in your roughly chopped red chilies, and then your basil. And if you want to add the beans or the baby corn, they go very well with tofu. So beans and baby corn, and yes, thinly sliced carrot. Even the orange carrot tastes very good, not the red one, the orange one, the yellow or the orange carrot as they call it. So don't make it very patla, otherwise it'll become limp. You want your vegetables to look really fresh. So it should. So the way that the dish should look is, it should look green, it should have a pop of color, and it should look fresh. Yeah. So I sauteed the tofu, and that is why, while I stir fried it, it took lesser time. Yeah. I done that before the class.
Oh, hey, Sukham, I'm Shreya this side.
Anji Shreya, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for logging in.
I had a lovely time seeing.
Thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, so I just have a small question.
Sure.
It's regarding prawns. So, how are you supposed to put the prawns? Are you just supposed to like put the raw prawns inside the soup?
Yes, the raw prawns which have been deveined.
Okay.
A lot of the Asian people love to have the head of the prawn on as well when they cook, because that's very flavorful. But in India, I don't see people eating it. I like the tail portion of it because it helps you just pick up the tail and pop the prawn in your mouth. So it's easier rather than having it without the tail. These are deveined prawns. A lot of places like Meatigo, Delicious, there's an O-Fish, which is again an e-commerce site that is providing great service and great seafood to people. So you could try any of these. And they are clean and deshelled. So yeah. So you don't need to go to a market where you probably will have no social distancing. Just order your raw material online. Basically, pay to get them together and then make it. Don't venture out, please.
So basically, like when it comes to chicken or anything, we're supposed to boil before, right? How we supposed?
Nothing is boiled. We got cut off at that portion when I was trying to cut in and people were trying to log in. You put kacha chicken.
Okay, everything is raw.
Everything is raw. This is minced chicken, which I just removed from the fridge before the class. And I put it in a bowl and I just put it right into the stir fry.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. If you have any questions, please ask on the group. I'm not leaving the group. So ask as many as you want. Post your pictures. Ask about any other query that you have. I'll be more than happy to assist you. If you're happy eating the food that you've cooked and your family is happy, it gives me great pleasure. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome, Shreya. See you soon. Ishita, Bela ji, Dipti, Sonia. Anybody else? I'll send the photographs of the ingredients and I will also post the recording. It has recorded. The recordings might be in 2 or 3 different portions, but I will send the recording on the group as well. I can't hear anybody because everybody's muted. So if you want to say a bye, you'll have to unmute.
Yeah, bye.
All right, till next time. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry?
Thank you.
It was a lovely session. I enjoyed a lot. Thank you so much.
Same here. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. See you.
Okay,